Hello, and what is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and today we are back in SpinTires Mud Runner for another episode of our diesel truck shootout. And right now we are having our towing competition or towing challenge comparison or whatever you want to call it. So in the last episode, we towed the Ford using the Dodge, and in this episode, we're going to tow... Let's see, we're going to actually run the Ford, and the only thing with the Ford is that it does have, I would say, the most primitive of the trailer options, and it may be a little bit, I don't know, I feel like there's going to be some people in the comments that are going to be like, oh my god, that's unfair, and I'm like, not quite. I'm not going to call it unfair. I mean, it's still a, like a proper trailer setup. Basically, the only difference is it just doesn't have ramps. And, I mean, the architecture of the trailer is a little different, and I'm actually kind of surprised that the trailer is working as well as it is right now, because that particular trailer, or this particular trailer, I should say, is known, or at least oh god, that's the other issue with it. That truck kind of drives on its own. It sometimes has a mind of its own, the Ford. It just gets up and goes sometimes, and I don't know why it does it. It's like it's got its own little brain, and it sometimes doesn't want to follow the rules, and I don't know why. But in any case, we've got the Dodge on the trailer. Let's drive it forward just a little, or that. Stop engine, change truck, now please, go! Oh my god, that's the weird thing about the Ford, is that if you have the parking brake on, there's a higher chance of it rolling away. It's very weird. But actually, we've got the Dodge perfectly centered on that trailer, so let's put it in low 3, and let's go ahead and take off. Now, I do like how the Ford drives. I will say that I do really like how the Ford drives. I like how the Ford drives specifically because it's very manageable to drive. It's a very simple truck to drive. It's probably one of the most forgiving trucks in this entire test, apart from the rolling away with the e-brake on issue. The e-brake doesn't really work, and even when you're on flat ground, like if you leave this truck in gear, it will roll away. It's very, very weird. Like, you have to legitimately put it in neutral, otherwise it will not be in the same place you parked it by the time you come back. It's very weird. Let's go ahead and try to make this turn a little wide. We didn't really need to make it that wide, really, but I kind of wanted to see if that would actually help, but I don't think we needed the help. Now, that trailer the trailer that comes with this truck is a little bit higher off the ground than the one that comes, well, actually, take that back. It just doesn't have anything hanging underneath it, like the one in like the one that the Dodge comes with, and it may be a little bit higher off the ground. The suspension may be a little bit higher, but it does actually help it in terms of getting over bumps and things like that. And you guys saw back there was no high centering issue whatsoever. And it also needs to be said that this truck actually does have a higher fuel capacity than the Dodge, but to be fair, that's like, I mean, you're going to see that from mod to mod, but like if we're comparing mod to mod, then I'll definitely include that as a strong point for this truck. The only, like, the big difference for me between the Ford and the Dodge is that the Ford doesn't have anywhere near the level of upgrades that you can install in the garage. It just kind of has what it has, and that's, you know, it has what it comes with, and then that's about it. It's got the gooseneck and like a couple of other things, and that's about it. It doesn't have anywhere close to the repair truck or rescue truck or like scout truck potential that the Cummins does. And just because of the fact that the Dodge just has so much more upgrades available at any given time. Now, I'm going to actually stick it in low range for this part right here. I was going to put it in auto, but I was like, you know what? Not quite yet. Let's not run it in auto quite yet, because there's a little bit more to deal with before we get to where we want to open the truck up. But, you know, let's just open it up. See how she does. Just spinning a bit. Fourth. Where's fifth? Come on. You going to go for fifth? You going to go for... No, actually. It is not going to go for fifth. At least not yet. See, the Dodge went for fifth while towing. This one has not. Oh, there it goes. Took it a while, but it went for fifth. Yeah, it took it a bit, but it went for fifth. So now that we're back onto the twisty stuff, Let's put it back into low range. And I will say it took this a lot longer to get to 5th gear than it took the Dodge to get to 5th gear. And I'm not sure why that is. It's just kind of like, it's got to be due to one of two things. Either the way they've programmed the power or the way they programmed the gearing, or both. And when we get to the uphill portion, I'm going to actually put this truck in automatic mode to see if it does as well as the Dodge did going up hills, because going up hills in automatic mode is always a toss-up with trucks in MudRunner, because sometimes the automatic gearbox is not smart enough to judge, you know, what gear you should be in, but sometimes it is, and that's all down to the way, you know, that's all down to the way the modder has programmed the trucks. Now, keep in mind, these 3 trucks were made by the same modder, but they do not perform exactly the same. They certainly do not perform exactly the same. They're not like re-skinned, you know, remodeled, copy-pasted versions of the same truck. And that's definitely, I think, a good thing, you know, and should be kind of, you know, praised to Banks for that. Oh, see, we barely even scraped the trailer right there. It's okay. It's fairly good, like going over the crests of hills and stuff. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Okay, we got going fast enough that we almost dropped the Dodge. See, it's weird. The Dodge gets done with, like, gets through all of its gears faster, but the Ford has way more power in its tune. So basically, I feel like the Dodge has been tuned for shorter gearing, and the Ford has been tuned for more power, and that's just the way they feel like they drive. I don't know if I'm actually correct in saying that or not, but that's the way they feel like they drive. And it also needs to be said that the suspension in the Ford doesn't sag anywhere near as much as the suspension in the Dodge. So I will definitely say the suspension in the Ford has definitely been more tuned for towing, and it feels like that while you're driving it. It has more control, it doesn't sag anywhere near as much, and I'm going to go ahead and drive past the initial stopping point just so I can demonstrate what I'm on about, but you can see it's not, you know, it's not buried in the rear fenders all the time. It's not, you know, the rear tires aren't buried into the rear fenders all the time. It's not like, it doesn't look like it's rubbing all over the place, or certainly not anywhere near as much as the Dodge was. And I think that's also a really good thing, because that shows that, like, if you want to haul something truly heavy, then you should definitely choose this Ford F350 over the Dodge Mega Cab. Now, the Mega Cab can still haul stuff, but I think I would definitely, it's like, at the end of the day, I would definitely use the Mega Cab as a scout truck or a rescue truck before I would use the Ford as a scout truck or a rescue truck. But when it comes to hauling, I think I'd probably pick the Ford. I think I'd probably pick the Ford first. And as much as I love Dodge and, you know, love the Cummins engines and the Dodge trucks, I think I would pick the Ford first for hauling, just because it's performing so dang well. It's just, frankly, it kind of blew the Dodge out of the water, and I was not expecting that as a verdict, but that's your verdict. It really is. Now, we still have to run the Duramax, but, I mean, look at that. And that, like, the gearbox is intelligent enough to stay in third through the mud, and, like, no issue. It's actually doing very, very well. I'm happy with this automatic gearbox mode. I'm really happy with it, and I think this thing definitely beats the Dodge, which, again, like I said, I'm a massive Dodge fan, and normally I wouldn't say, you know, that this Ford, like, demolished that Dodge, but I gotta be honest, it has done a absolutely freaking awesome job. So, if you guys enjoyed this episode of our diesel truck shootout, don't forget to leave me a like. Tell me in the comments down below what you guys thought of it. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe for more. Also, let me know in the comment section below what your personal opinions on these trucks are. If you have a favorite, if you have one that you think is better than the others for whatever reason. But again, hope you all did enjoy. I'll see you guys next time. Talk to you all later.